All right, so we have our motor now. I did an unboxing video. Here's everything that came from Modern Performance. So we're gonna work on getting all this stuff installed and getting a timing belt set up on here. So I figure I'll bring these guys along. I got my water pump bolts already in here. Okay. I need to get these two here removed, because these will actually hold the timing cover on. So I want to clean the area where my pump's going to be. Right. Looks like I'm going to have to add some scissors. I got this taped up pretty good. Alright, so there's our pump, cursor pump. I always grease my seal. Alright. Never had a problem doing it this way. Extra there, basically. So the grease helps hold it in, even though the stock factory ones do stay in pretty good. Okay, so rule of thumb, I always put one of these bolts in here. That's so I know that the water pump is centered out. And when I go to put my bracket on, it's not off center. Some of your aftermarket bolts or aftermarket water pumps won't line right up. I noticed that with the aftermarket ones. This is a Mopar one, so it should fit right up the way that it's supposed to. No problem. All right, next is going to be the tensioner. It'll go here. And then this bolt that you used here goes right here. That helps hold this tensioner in place. Always like to lock that one side in. And then I snug down this one. Next part we're going to need is the inner cover. Just like that. Okay. These reinstalled. I'm going to start all the smaller ones for the inner cover. I'll show you what they look like. Alright, just like this. You can install the idler. Gotta grab the right size for that. Now, MPX gears. It's got the toward the top. They can be flipped if you need, but there we go. That one's installed. They're actually pretty nice when they're brand new. All right. Now we're down to getting the belt installed. I always make sure that my writing is coming out so that it can be read if you see it. Just that little extra thing that doesn't really matter, but I'm pretty picky, so I try to make sure it's sticking out that way. All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to get everything positioned. You can use a cam alignment tool for this, but I'm gonna grab what I need. I'm gonna tighten all these ones here down. Then I'll double check and make sure that these are tight because they're new. And man, we'll get this thing lined up. I've already got the crank at top dead center. I have a large nut that I put on here so that I can rotate this thing around without bottoming out our bolt. Just a big nut. All right, so I start here, pull my tension out, come out around, go across the top of this one. Sometimes if right now I'm actually using the cam tool, but if I need to align this, I'll use the wrench and I'll move the cam. Run it around. Now I need 13 right here. And these things are all new. They're nice and tight. I'll tell you that. Play up here, I think. Well, I'm actually pretty dang tight. Sometimes, to get them on the first time, I'll actually take and rotate the engine around to get it to spin on. There we go. I'll bring you in for this one. These usually have an arrow on them to be rotated this way, right there like that. I put your tension on. And then up here you'll see the spring. Always try to center that out. And then lock it down. Okay. Show you what the cam tool looks like. Right here. Probably just tap that up. I'll grab the 19. So that's all the cam tool is. I believe this one is the DCR one that's offered. Come in here, they're pretty close. That's pretty close. We're gonna do 2 full rotations down here. One. Okay. We're right on. My tensioner's off. Usually what I'll do is I'll reset this because you want this part up here. All right, like that, not down there. So I'll readjust the tension and then I'll do a rotation again. Most of the time I only do this one time. because it gets the play out of the belt. All right, lock down. 2 full rotations. 1. And if you tell, they're upside down, okay? But they pretty much line up. All right. There we go. Tensioner is here. This is here. I could probably get that little bit out and this little bit out of here, but that's where the cams are centered by these holes. The crank is centered. So all I gotta do now is tighten these 2 up here. I can install my lower cover onto here, and I can actually install the side bracket. So, I mean, this is all pretty easy, simple stuff. So, these are just 13. We'll get them tightened up quick. All right, I'm just gonna install this valve cover to keep dirt out of this for now. All right, so we reuse the cam magnet because if you know, they're pretty much obsolete right now. And we got a new cam sensor to install. Nothing like new sensors on a new motor when this thing needs to be run and broken and tuned. Okay. Now these come with a little plastic seal. You can put some oil, or my favorite, this nice red grease. You get it over anywhere, it is not going to hurt nothing. I always grease seals and then silicone on gaskets. All right, so just like this. Now you have to be careful. There is metal sleeves inside of here, but you can over tighten these and actually snap the plastic. And that's something that you do not want to do. So you want to make them good and hand tight. And we have our 8 on the floor. Okay. All right, good and snug. Now, here's our crank sensor location. Okay. We have a brand new one of those. Mopar only. And the same as everything else, I'm going to take the sensor and put some grease on it. Okay. All right. Let's get this inserted here. All right. Perfect. Same with this one. I want to make sure to snug it and not over tighten that sensor, because you can crack that one also. All right. Now, I'm going to grab this lower cover and we are going to get our oil unit installed, and then we're going to get the upper cover too. So here we go. Time to get some more done here. I'm going to grab the cover, I'm going to get that started, I'm going to find the Allen wrench that I need for these, and we'll get this oil filter housing, this beautiful piece, installed here. Okay, so we have our seal, and if you notice, it's just a normal thing here that we have going on with putting a little bit of grease onto our seals. All right. Well, just do it. It works. Never had a problem. All right, now our oil filter housing. We're going to install the supplied bolt like this through the hole. Get it started up. Alright, so basically they're 5 mil. I'm going to grab an Allen wrench that fits in there a little bit better than that. We do have our lower cover installed. I'm going to tighten these up. I'm going to clean up a little bit of this mess, and we're going to get this upper clear cover installed, probably along with our side bracket. Alright, so I'm just going to actually just hang this on here, because I believe I have to trim this just a little bit down here, but my bracket, I'm not quite happy with the way it looks. I'm going to grind the pieces off of it for the solid mount that is installed on the car, and get that cleaned up. But there we go. Here's the instructions that come with it. I'm going to tighten these bolts down enough just to hold this thing in place for now. And like I said, I got to prep my side bracket. I got to grind my tabs off for my mount, and basically I'm probably going to paint it up, and I'm going to get this thing installed. But we have our timing belt installed, we have our cam, our crank sensor, and our oil filter housing installed. It took all of but a couple minutes to install everything that came in that order, and now we're waiting on some more. So there we go. Finished up.